Hello indie game fans! As we roll on into autumn, September 2019 was an awesome month for indie games, with many excellent titles being released, among which are some excellent pixel art titles. Last month also saw the release of Apple Arcade, which is an interesting new model in indie gaming and well worth the $5 a month fee. But it's really a lot to cover, with a launch lineup of 50 plus and growing titles, so for now, I'll leave out those mobile-only exclusive titles. As always, let's start with some quick picks worth checking out. The overwhelmingly adorable Cat Quest 2 is the follow-up to the 2017 game and is a pun-filled action-adventure romp through a world filled with cats, dogs, and monsters. The humor is very tongue-in-cheek and is pretty fun in co-op, although the action has been criticized to be a little simplistic. The long in development Overland finally made the launch on Steam after an extended period on itch.io and is a turn-based tactics roguelike, but with an emphasis on survival as you trek your way across the post-apocalyptic United States. Mysterious monsters are sprouting from the ground, so you have to defend yourself, scavenge for resources, rescue other party members, and traverse the world. Reviews are mixed on this due to how punishingly difficult it can be, but perhaps something for the metalcore fan. The Sojourn is a beautiful first-person puzzle game which is paced rather well, with new concepts and mechanics being introduced at a slow and steady pace. It takes the concepts of light and darkness quite literally, allowing you to interact with the world depending on what mode you are in. The story, however, is a little cryptic, but the gorgeous visuals are a real treat for the eyes. The little goose that took over the world. Untitled Goose Game is one standout example of an indie game absolutely blowing up, with celebrities and musicians shouting it out, and as a concept, simply has you playing as a horrible goose, playing pranks and stealing things from the townspeople. However, there seems to be some discourse surrounding how the game plays with regards to core gamers in quotes. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a very stylish, very trippy, and super neat game that is basically an interactive music album. The music is great, visuals are fantastic, and the gameplay itself, while seemingly simple, generally just involving moving the analog stick, this makes things up really nicely, blending genres and ideas in a super fluid way. Moving on, here are the top 5 best indie games of September 2019. If you guys caught my review of Creature in the Well, it will be no surprise that this makes the top 5 list, since for me, personally, I really liked the combination of pinball mechanics with a dungeon crawler. The basic firing of projectiles and catching hazardous ones does feel really good, with very well done world building about this mysterious machine in the mountains. Some people may have bounced off the title due to the difficulty, but I quite enjoyed it and wished there was more. Think FTL Faster Than Light, but you are instead in command of an entire space fleet and you get crying suns. an exciting mix of roguelite, random events, and resource management, with real-time battles taking place on the grid. This seems to be heavily inspired by FTL, down to having fuel and scrap as the two main resources that you need to manage. There is, however, more of a central mystery about sentient machines known as Omnis that were built to aid humanity, but all of a sudden shut down across the universe, leading to the near extinction of the human race. Playing as successive clones of the best space admiral there ever was, I do like it when roguelites give you a reason as to why you are able to die and restart over and over again, so this is a nice touch. Lovely mix of high-bit pixel art and 3D voxels, and overall a very well-made product. Just a quick note, if you are new here and enjoyed the video so far, be sure to subscribe and check out the Discord channel while you are at it. Here's to more indie gaming coverage, so back to the video.
So, how was your first day at the new school?
Well, I met a bunch of kids, made some friends, played some cards. I fought a bully, got caught, got detention, got everyone's favorite game banned. All the kids hate me. I was attacked by monsters, saw a boy get kidnapped by mutants from another dimension, battled an ultimate evil, and maybe even saved the world.
Oh, Jess, not detention on your first day.
Cardpocalypse is primarily a trading card game that I love so much since it reminds me of my own childhood with Pokemon cards in school. However, this game is titled Mega Mutant Power Pets, based on the hit in-universe children's cartoon. This is very similar to Hearthstone in structure, but your leader card mutates when certain conditions are met, most commonly when its health is below 50%, which adds new game-changing abilities to your approach. This is also from the developer of the excellent Guild of Dungeoneering, so check this one out. The super gory but gorgeous Blasphemous comes in at number 2 since it is a pixel art Souls-like action platformer with some tweaks and changes to the formula that really makes it a great game in itself. The religious theme is particularly interesting to me since the depiction of the Catholic faith throughout history and in Europe in particular has been very fascinating to me, contrasting the beautiful and opulent cathedrals with the brutality and the violence of the Inquisition, so this game falls somewhere in the mix as well. The world is gross but beautiful, with a wide variety of biomes from fetid sewers to frozen mountains, as well as grotesque creatures to be put out of their misery. The upgrade and exploration systems and abilities are very well designed, making for a fun Metroidvania style experience with a very Dark Souls way of telling its story.
When you think of family, what comes to mind first? A story of hope, of love, of despair.
Pixel art roguelite dungeon crawler. This description alone, as you guys know, automatically qualifies Children of Morta as a title of interest to me, and after having played it, I really came to love the game. playing as members of the Bergson family who are sworn to protect Mount Mortar, the corruption awakens and it is up to you to stop it, as have past generations of the family. We have your standard sword and shield warrior, an archer, a dagger-wielding rogue, a quick fire mage, a heavy hammer-wielding juggernaut, and a slick and agile martial artist, all of which level individually and have a skill tree and progression in themselves. This choice of 6 characters provides so much variety, with certain family members being more suited to certain dungeons. On top of this, the family mansion is filled with opportunities for upgrades, increasing the damage or movement speed of all family members with a single purchase. Then comes the pixel art, which is honestly jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Speaking as someone who has an extra special interest in pixel art and have seen many games using this art style, Children of Mortar really pushes the envelope with the scale and the beauty of certain environments taking the #1 spot of the month. For more of the best indie games, do check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.